Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, on Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging.
Coming at you
with
thoughts of the day.
It's Mondays with Mick, the Saturday edition, because we didn't get together last week, and I did a kind of a bummer video today. So this video is going to be uplifting and filled with pure love for all of the loungers and those who are just lurking. Take it away, Mick.
Okay, well, it's nice to be back, and you have a lot better set design behind you than I do.
I was muting while you spoke.
I know.
Muting while you speak. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Set to the tune of whistle while you work. I don't really. I have this written on the wall. Wait, which way do I go? I've had something written on the wall behind me since Spencer was like, I'm going to say 12 in chalk. And it says, attention, no food or drink. And then I made arrows into the trash can because we didn't want to draw raccoons. But guess who we do want to draw?
Possums.
Thomas. He's the highlight of my life now.
Well, one particular possum, not just any angry possum walking by.
Actually, I dig all possums now that I'm aware of what they're all about, Alfie. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I have cheese stabbed in the tree and strawberry. Yes, go ahead and lecture me. I'm feeding the wildlife. Like they don't need me to feed them. They'd be here anyway. Go ahead, Mick.
What's the difference between putting out bird seed for wild birds or feeding your favorite possum in your tree?
Well, that's true. I mean, he would eat anyway. He was eating before I came along. Do you know what I mean? But I wish I could pick this up and show you. I have, people who have lounged for a while, and you know this. I have this hippie bus thing hanging in the healing tree. Mm-hmm. It was like $2 or something on sale because it was damaged. And Katie and Spencer live for it for some reason. I'm not sure why, but right now there's a strawberry on top of it. And when he comes down, he's like a great white shark. Like his mouth opens wide and he gets it. Anyhow. What's on your mind tonight, Mick?
Oh, well, I have been watching a YouTuber that I think I heard from you. And his name is Quantum of Conscience.
Is it Conscience or Conscience? I never know his name. All I know is it's Matt.
Yeah, and he has a whole channel devoted to his thoughts on reality.
Which I think he thinks is fake.
He thinks it's flexible and possibly completely fake.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I love interesting concepts.
Yeah, well, I listened to his latest explanation of reality as he sees it, and it's a long video. It was 2 hours long. I actually listened to.
I don't think I listened to that.
Yeah, it's probably a week old maybe, and I listened to it while driving to Erie the other day and on the way back, and it's pretty interesting. I don't think I see things the same way as him, but it's nice. He uses a lot of terms too, like the snow globe world.
Right. And the
not milk, which is Clinton spelled backwards.
Yeah, and then the minions. And then he just refers to different things like, oh, you know, that thing that happened in a fall month on a day that might have been around between the 10th and the 12th. And you know what I mean?
It's very like you in that way.
I know. He's very code language. But I wanted to say something to you. I'm going to shake my finger at you wildly. Who is messaging me? Oh, it's you, but you're not really. The reason why I started to delve into weird things, my dear sweet neighbor, who is 1 nautical mile up the road, as we established in the last Mondays with Mick.
Yes.
It's actually on a Monday. Is you came to visit one day and we were talking, as we do.
Yes.
And you said something like, there's a theory out there that Donald Trump was put into office to see what sort of reaction people would get, and that everything's kind of a stage show.
Right.
And so then I thought, oh my God. And I went in that direction as I do 1,000 miles an hour. And so I look into stuff. Look, I don't know if I agree with everything that our dear sweet Philadelphia man says, but I like how he gets me to think in a different way. It's, mind opening, as long as your brains don't fall off.
That's what I liked about it too, that even though I didn't agree, it's thought-provoking to hear him talk and the things that he comes up with. But he does use a lot of terms or use phrases or describes things in ways I'm not used to. But he sounds like he has a whole... I wish I could think of some more of them, but Snow Globe is one. Minions is one.
Something about, oh, I can't remember, but I was trying to unmute and it didn't
But
work. But
one of the things that he did that I thought was kind of I didn't like was that he just quickly dismissed all of science. Like, well, they have these big fancy labs and yet they can't create life. It's like,
oh,
what?
I didn't hear this one.
Yes, and I'm like, well, that's science doesn't, exist to make everything happen or do things on demand.
Right. Well, remember the other time you came down and we were visiting in the kitchen,
Yeah,
and like we were talking about how there's some people that really they want science to explain everything, and then
right.
how'd you say that? I'm gonna smoke. Mick is making me smoke. Tell them
Yeah,
about that.
I encourage her to smoke. But the thing is that people think that because science exists and they do have explanations for things, that it's like the permanent source of all knowledge. But actually, scientific beliefs and established things have changed in my lifetime. When I went to high school, they the mainstream geology science did not believe in um, tectonic plates, with things with continents moving around the plate.
There are still
Yeah,
some different theories
I'm
out there
sure
right
there's
now
still
about
people.
that.
Well, listen, if people don't believe that the world is round, I'm sure there's people that can.
Well, that it doesn't really have to do with flat Earth. It's just there's different theories about it, like expanding Earth that would also explain the tectonic plates. Are you
Mhm.
familiar with an artist? Because you are an artist. Named, I believe it's Neal Adams. Maybe I can find the video.
Maybe.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to play that music for a minute, find the video, and just show you what I mean about this expanding Earth.
Okay.
Do you mind?
No, but where am I going to go when that?
I'm not sure. Let me.
I could just talk while you go look for it.
All right, that's good. Why don't you tell about how when I came back from Texas, how I was? I'm going to mute my microphone and look.
Okay. She was a wild little cowgirl, just moved back here from Texas. I believe she wore boots. I'm not sure about a hat, but she was pretty Texan, actually, from someone from Pennsylvania who'd been away for a while. Yep, she was here. She was a cowgirl. She was young. She was frisky, and she was open to a human experience. And there was this one fun time we sat in a bar, and she was telling me about someone that she knew. And did you find it?
Yeah,
Okay, good. Well, that was quick.
I was hoping that, but whenever you mentioned that I wore boots, I wanted to come back here quickly and say,
They're not your boots.
right, they
They
never
never
wear your
were your
boots.
boots.
Why don't you tell that story while I make sure this is
Well,
correct?
we had a mutual friend named Carolyn who one day just wasn't it Carolyn?
Yeah, it was. Can you still hear me? I didn't mute.
I can hear you fine.
Okay, because I'm
She
looking.
she was funny and we used to hang out and I think one time she just came out with this expression and she said, "They're not your boots. They never were your boots." And we thought that was hysterically funny and we still do. She
I'm
also
back. I
uh,
never really left because you could see me
right.
looking.
She also cautioned Lisa one time
That story was all wrong. Oh, tell about the
to
caution.
be
Yeah,
to
keep my.
keep your emotions in check.
Actually, that's wrong too. Her husband cautioned her.
Oh, to keep her emotions in check because she was hanging out with us and we were wild
We're
single.
bad influences.
That's right, we were too.
Totally. Now I'm getting upset because I had this and now I don't, but I'm going to have it here in a minute and we're going to do it. And where the heck is it? What's going I'm going to tell the boot story appropriately, Mick. I told it before, but here it's here. I'm gonna.
You probably
Here it
remember.
is
I'm
now.
sorry. Hang on a minute. Okay.
You
It,
probably remember that story better than me. So
okay. I was seeing Skip. He will be mine.
right.
Why don't you tell that story?
She had a boyfriend for a while named Skip, and no matter what happened with anything, she would just look at me and with a straight face say, "He will be mine."
I told Skip about it. Like we're friends still.
Yeah.
We're in touch.
It's nice. Yeah, he's probably
His
thinking,
sister died, by the way.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, like last just a few not long couple days my Sunday I think he got with me and told me, but Joel knew because the trailer slash office slash garden is over there next door.
Yeah,
Anyhow, so Skip and I were dating, and I turned to him and I said, "You will be mine." No, we had broken up. This is when I said he will be mine. By the way,
right.
yeah, I might send him this video for
Isn't
fun.
this the same Skip that called you once because he couldn't find something?
Oh my
You
God, do it.
you
Tell them I
you
was such a
drove
loser.
up to his house to find it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, that's as much of it as I remember, but that shows your devotion to him right there.
You have to explain the layout of the house and whatnot. I'm going to go expand this video a bit, like the expanding earth that it's going to show. I
Okay.
don't know how I'm going to do this. I think I have to remove. How do I do this?
Will we be little windows in the screen?
Yeah, I might remove us all together. So what I will
No,
do.
don't remove. Let me want to be able to comment on it while it's happening,
Well, I'm going to mute our.
or
We
or
have to
react.
mute our microphones while it goes on. I think. I don't know how to edit, ladies and gentlemen. What you see is what you get. Let's do this. We can come back to Skip later.
Let's just wing it.
All right. I think I'm going to share screen
Okay.
right now. And then I love to say exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to the Chrome tab. I'm looking at Neal Adams, Science 101, Conspiracy, Earth is Growing, YouTube. I'm sharing audio, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you get to be on the ground level with everything I'm doing. I'm sharing, and there it is. But let me just come back over here and see what it looks like. Looks
Okay.
like that. I want it to look like this.
Can I talk?
Well, I don't think so because it'd be easier
Okay, I won't talk.
Okay, and we should probably mute our microphones, I think. I don't know. Let's just leave them on. Let's wing it. You're right. Here goes. Kinda.
We come to the earth which well grew to get here, the way it is now. Here is our world, our planet Earth, floating in space. We will be going backward in time, imperfectly, but done in a very disciplined manner. Please notice there is no subduction, no rotation of tectonic plates, no twisting, no form fitting, no altering shapes or sizes. It would be impossible for these continental plates to fit together perfectly without this being true, and yet the upper tectonic plates fit together perfectly on a much smaller planet. Yes, there's been some erosion, landslides, blah, blah, but overall, this activity is insignificant. There is a kind of conspiracy of silence among certain scientists. They know, but are not telling you, that the upper tectonic plates of Earth also join in the Pacific. Not partially, they join totally. You are asked to believe that the continents swim or drift about willy-nilly, bumping and crashing as if they were on a greased skillet. This is not true. The simple truth is apparently too upsetting to too many apple carts. We're now going forward in time to show how the actual growth of the Earth took place. Imperfect as the details, but the overall is nailed. Antarctica, as you see, has become subtropical. Africa, on a smaller globe, moved way downward under the globe. In fact, for hundreds of millions of years, the bottom of Africa was the South Pole. South America's tail goes under and wraps around the bottom of Africa. Then, incredibly, it joins coast with Antarctica. 65 million years ago and more, these continents were joined, and marsupials like the duck-billed platypus roamed from Australia, Antarctica, and across southern South America and up into Africa. The platypus. Dinosaurs roamed all over this world on the upper tectonic plate because there were no oceans, just shallow seas. Here today, Antarctica is frozen over, and Australia and its surrounding islands are the remaining home of marsupials. Do you see how broadly the Pacific is opening compared to the Atlantic? This is exactly why the knee-jerk Pangea theory exists. The Pacific spread is too difficult to easily visualize because it's so big. The Atlantic spread is so obvious that a child would recognize it, but they are the same.
Okay, I get it.
I'm unmuting. Hang on. Let me get rid of that.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to show you that thing. We don't need to go off on it because I'm not totally familiar. I just wanted to show you there's other
Well,
things out there,
also the idea that the
which
whole
I like.
world is on the back of a giant tortoise, too. Yeah, that's
Hey, I think that's true. No, I'm kidding. But let me tell you
okay.
something about tortoises. First of all, I have to cough, so hold on if you would, even if you wouldn't. Did you like that
Yeah,
expression? And that was Neal Adams, and he's a cartoonist, evidently. I'll put a link below, ladies and gentlemen. You know how I do. I'll put everything in here. I'm gonna get Mick. My lights are coming on. It is dusk. Pretty soon, that's the whole. Anyhow, um, you know that the natives, some of them anyway, call North America Turtle Island.
yes, I know that.
That's interesting, especially because how would they know unless they were viewing it from? I
Spain.
think I think Joel's here. No, he's not. Yeah. Anyhow, that's whatever. Where were we talking about? Boots or something?
Talking about boots, I think you were going to tell the boot story.
I'm going to tell the boot story because I told it before in Edna, but I deleted the video. It's been a while ago. I'll be quick. Skip and I were dating. I thought we were pretty serious, but he ditched me, of course. Please release me, let me go. That's what he said. No, he didn't. But we did remain friendly in the end. But I was devastated at first, if you remember.
Yes, I do remember.
Oh my God, it was terrible. And that's when I turned to you and said he will be mine, which to this day, Skip and I kind of crack up wildly over and throw our heads back and snort beer across the room before drinking a beer because it's hilarious. Well, to us anyway. So it was July and he called on the phone
Mm-hmm.
and said, I noticed a pair of snowmobile boots down there, and I lived at a dead end, remember, in outer space, a little, ladies and gentlemen, I lived in a little cottage and had moss on the roof, and there was no drive. It was like a dead end road that went down. I showed it to you before on a video,
It
but
was a cute little place.
that was where Scooter came in and dropped off the parsley
Mm-hmm.
and on his heel. Okay. So he said, I'm wondering if those boots down there might be mine. And Carolyn was convinced he was just trying to reach out and get in touch with me for a dumb reason. And she thought he was covering for really wanting to talk to me. And that's when she said, did you call him back and say, they're not your boots. They never were your boots. And then, of course, I added, they never will be your boots. That's the boot story.
Yeah, you tell it better than me.
And I'm very serious about it. Shall I swing into the vacuum cleaner story or should you tell that? We've alluded to
I
it
want to
before.
talk about this whole nature of reality. We've got
Oh,
to,
nature of reality. Okay.
nail down the nature of reality
We
during
will. And as soon as it gets dark, you know where I'm going.
to Thomastown.
I want you to take me to Possum Town. All right, go ahead. Nature of reality. I'm muting. It's your turn.
Now, he brought up a lot of things, but another thing that he did that I thought was interesting was he would relate stories from movies. Like he said something about uh, Pulp Fiction, that something about that. He said something about the movie Silence of the Lambs. He mentioned a couple of other movies, Star Wars, I think, and
I have to interrupt, and I'm sorry. I'm going to mute everything and light these things because mosquitoes are out. So take it over.
okay.
No editing here.
No, no. Who does that? But anyway, so I'm watching this video by Quantum of Conscience, and I really like the video, but it seemed really unusual that he was using fictional portrayals of things that weren't real to try to illustrate principles of what he thought was real. So he was using fictional presentations of things to illustrate his beliefs about reality. And then there was this whole thing about what does society want you to do? They want you to join this or join that, or say you stand for this or say you stand for that, or just pledge allegiance to certain things and not other things. And he said he won't do that. He just stays out of that. He pledges allegiance to nothing. He joins nothing. He adheres to no set belief about things. What was that you just held up?
I have no idea what you said. I hope it wasn't dirty in any way because this is a clean.
Oh no, I would never get dirty on your channel.
Okay. This is a mosquito thing. It's called Thermacell.
But speaking of reality, Lisa, do you remember when you first heard about the Mandela effect.
Oh my
How
goodness.
you got a little weirded out about it.
Well, I still am to a certain extent because the thing that weirded me out about it is even though I'm a heathen or just a spiritual person in touch with not reality, with not at all, with like I think there's something bigger, like a higher power or something like that, but I wouldn't refer to it as like the God of the Bible. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know the Bible extremely well, having been married to a
Biblicist?
yeah. Anyhow, I'm rolling my eyes, ladies and gentlemen. But at any rate, he was, good with Bible stuff. Back now, he's a total heathen, I think, not a partial. But at any rate, some of the stuff changed in that King James version. Can you explain what I mean by change? Because some people think I mean that the reprinted version is.
No, there are these commonly referred to phrases from the Bible that when you look them up, they're actually not the way people remembered.
Well, let's ask the audience and don't give the answer. The lion thing.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the scripture and it says, how can we ask? What do you ask it, Mick? I don't know how to ask it.
Think about something laying down with a lion, another animal.
Yeah, how do you remember that passage? Just let me know, ladies and gentlemen, and then I can tell you how it changed. Of course,
remember it being that the lamb shall lay down with the lion.
Okay, we might as well just say it. I think it's lion and lamb. I could look it up as I'm known to do here.
Why? What do most people think it is?
Well, now it says that the wolf shall dwell with the. And what does it say?
The wolf shall dwell with the porcupine, and the neighbors will look the other way.
That's exactly what it says. I forget what it says now. The wolf shall dwell with something, but it's really lion, lie down with the lamb. And there's even like places named after the lion and lamb. Now they claim lion and lamb never happened. That's the thing. They claim it never was like that.
Right.
It's dark now with the outdoor studio.
And that's another thing that Matt brought up in his video about how different Mandela things happen, and then he couldn't remember. He didn't know that someone made a movie 20 years ago, but then someone said, "Well, I remember it," and then he was saying, "Well, it doesn't. Just because you remember something happening 20 years ago doesn't mean that it didn't happen." It's listen,
very weird.
Here's what I'd like to ask your nice viewers that like to leave comments in your videos. What's their view of reality? Do they think reality is real? Do they think everything's fake? And have they ever watched a Quantum of Conscience video? And
that's a good one. Yeah, it's a good question, because I just think the world's really different than what I thought it was. I'm not saying, when I say that, people think I'm flat earth something. That's not what I mean. I just think there's a lot that we don't know about. One guy who I really dig is this JonLevi. Mm-hmm. I've played him before. I'll share it with you later. But he looks at these old buildings, stuff like Taj Mahal and all these ancient places, and how they don't seem to fit in with the era. Like,
yeah,
supposedly we were in horses and buggies and stuff, and yet there's this beautiful, as he calls it, glorious building there, and it doesn't really tie in. So it has to do with a reset. I am kind of convinced there's a reset, I have to tell you.
In the 1800s?
I don't know if it was in the 1800s, but I think that there's a cyclical event. I've been talking about this a little bit lately.
Well,
that, is cyclical, and some know about it, some don't know about it. I'm not sure the mechanics of any of it, but I think it would explain a lot.
Okay, which years did you spend in Texas?
In the year 85, 83 to 93.
So let's pick a year from there, 83 to 93. Let's say 1990. You remember 1990, right? Do you think that living in 1990, seemed more real than living today in 20?
Yes.
So things seem less real now than they did that many years ago.
Now, it could just be because my mind's open to the possibility, but yeah, I think so.
See, I think things seem less real now too. And I don't know why it seems that way, but things seem more real in the past, more like reality seemed more real.
Right.
Now it just seems more like, what? What just happened?
Yes.
Who got elected president?
I
How
agree.
these things? They did what? They they're doing, huh? You
Yeah,
know, it's just
I
it's
agree with that totally.
it's
I'm
crazy.
sorry, I'm getting bitten here a little bit.
Well, we should wrap it up probably.
I'm half naked and all that. I wanted to show the we will. I want to show the loungers that I'm wearing this chili pepper, and Mick gave me this years ago. Did you get it in New Mexico?
Yeah, in Santa Fe.
And it chipped, it broke a little bit. It's out here and I'm using it. And then G Sharp gave me this and it looks really cool. It's supposed to be like it's supposed to work with a black light, but I've noticed that it works with this blue light. When I go to bed, the blue light stays on, this light doesn't, and it glows.
Oh, that's nice.
I
Hey,
just wanted to, God.
I want to ask you about those things on your hat. Are those chili peppers
Yes, I think so. See,
or are they chili peppers?
chili peppers.
Chili peppers.
We'll have to tell that story next week. You'll have to tune in next time to hear about the chili versus chili, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do the closing here, but let me just get prepared because you know how I am, and you.
Well, I'd like to help too.
I know you're going to help. Let me find it. Okay, thank you so much. What is this? Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while waiting on a possum and coming at you with thoughts of the day. Join me, join others, drop your political identities. Let's focus on
the truth. Let's focus
issues. The truth's good and issues. Leave labels at the.
Leave those labels, man, over there at the door.
Research before you
judge, because don't do it after. It's not any good then.
And remember,
always remember Dr. Professor Smedley H. Butler.
Yeah.
He was a Nobel Prize nominee.
Yes, for his research into gene therapy.
Yes.
Okay, it's War's Racket, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take my word for it or Mick's word for it. Just check out General Smedley Butler.
General Professor Dr. General Smedley.
And what he had to say. Okay. Should I do the outro music and get out of here or just sign off?
Or we can sing a little snip of an Elton John song as a sign off.
Has anybody here seen a raise a
face? Heard he's back.
Looking for a place to lay down. Wait a minute. Some punk with a shotgun killed
young Danny Bailey
in cold blood
in the lobby of a downtown motel.
Killed him in anger.
A force he could not handle. Help pull the trigger that cut so life. Okay. And there not many knew him.
We're going to ask now what songs we sang at the end, and we'll see who all.
Oh, leave a purple something.
No, don't do that.
Or the word purple, or say the song, or
the artist.
Or just prove that you exist.
I don't even know if I exist, as you know.
Who does?
Okay, I'm just going to end the broadcast. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ending the broadcast. We're just going to stare here. I'm going to do it while smiling. Is it ending?